Go ahead and tell us where you from, man.
I'm from Terrell, Texas, a little town outside of Dallas. I was born in Dallas, but my stepfather got a job in Terrell when I was a baby. Got a job in Terrell in Washington Heights apartments, and we got an apartment. So we lived there. I grew up in Terrell and around Terrell, and when I was a teen, we built our house. Our family built our house. We built a house out in this part of Terrell called Stalin's Addition. We call it style. You know what I mean? So it's like the country part of Terrell. But a little community, you know what I'm saying? But we built our house. And that's how I grew up. People in Terrell know me as Alfie Moore. That's how I grew up. The little dude, we built this big red house. But yeah, that really set me up for music. That's what my formative years were. I spent my sister's records. They would take me to concerts. And so that's how I grew up, like in a musical family, you know what I'm saying? We've seen everybody, the Jacksons, Prince, and seen Prince like 3-4 times in concert. The Jacksons, like the Victory Tour, like we were there. We went to Texas Stadium. My mama drove through traffic. We was there. You know what I'm saying? You know, in that time, it was nothing bigger than the Jacksons. It was nothing bigger than Prince. By the time Prince was really taking over, I was a teenager, but because my sisters had records, I knew about Prince's first album. You know what I'm saying? And I would probably say, yeah, Prince was probably my first influence because, for one, his music was different, and for two, whenever I looked in the album cover, it was him. He did everything, and it was just like that. Just amazed me that one person, you know, because then there was no music videos of who this person really was. It was like, you know, radio was how you got music, and just being into music at that, being a young kid, and my sisters having a stereo with the records. They always had the best music, and growing up, that's how music got to me, and it was then sports. So at the same time, my mother would watch football. We would watch football religiously. Like, it didn't matter if football was on TV, we was watching. And then growing up in Terrell in Texas, like, football is king. You know, that little stadium, Memorial Stadium on Friday night, is lit, bro. It's the place you want to be. So I grew up, my dream was playing in that stadium for Terrell Tigers. Like, that was it. Like, music was a passion, love, and listen to it, but I never had the idea that I could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the current form, like, in 1984, if somebody would have told me about the SP-1200, that I could get a machine and I could take records and I could sample the records and take a snare from here and a kick from here and a piano line from here and put it together, and then I could write a rap over it. Bro, that's what I would have been doing in 1984, bro. 1984. You feel what I'm saying? There were DJ Premier, they were in New York, they had access to this equipment. I'm in Terrell, bro, we ain't know nothing about that. But what I did know was DJ. You know, Skolo D, he was my first musical mentor. Skolo was a friend of the family. My stepfather, Mr. Sims, and his father, Otis, were friends in Dallas. When we moved to Terrell, they moved to Terrell to get out of Dallas. But Skolo, by the time I was in high school, he was already grown, for real professional DJ in Dallas. You know, Skolo D, man, look him up, bro. The East Texas legend. The GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Skolo was just involved in a movement. He probably got 40 years in the game of just not just deep, but this constant elevation. So to take it back to Turl and why music, I'm a product of Turl, is it's such a rich place for black excellence, right? And it's really unknown. You know what I'm saying? The black people that I grew up around in the 70s was Dr. Evans. Dr. Jack Evans was the president of the Southwestern Christian College in Turl, bro. It was like a seminary school for black preachers. Bro, the dude was the president of the college. They had a big, nice white house like that you wouldn't even think we should have in the 70s. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Dr. Evans, Homer Veazey, so many innovationists. Dr. Phillips, bro. Imagine being shown a piece of technology 30 years before you realize this person created it. Dr. Phillips created the cordless phone.
No. He has a patent on that?
I think it was the deal with Sony. You know how they steal your shit, bro. Mm. But you can look it up. He's been noted. This is a Black history fact. From Turl, Texas. And he brought it, the prototype, to church one night. We would go to church every Sunday night. The Church of Christ. This time we were going to church in Forney, the little town outside of Turl. But Brother Phillips brought that. He had a rotary phone, bro. And he was showing us how it was going to work. He was breaking down all the scientific. I'm a kid, bro. And I'm watching my classmates. I think it was her father or grandfather, I'm not sure. Keela Phillips was my classmate. Shouts out to Keela Phillips. But Brother Evans brought that, Brother Phillips brought that rotary phone and gave us a presentation of how he was going to make the transmitter to be the cordless device. But after that, other different people, Brother Veazey was into computers. Dr. James Maxwell, bro, these were prominent black men that I was around when I was coming up. Right? My teacher, Frances Anderson, they just inducted her into the Turl Hall of Fame. Miss Anderson was my 5th grade teacher, but she was an activist in the community. They had to fight the city of Turl to build this park and install an addition to build this park. Because we only had one park on the south side. See, a lot of people, man, Turl has grown and it's a city now, but bro, back in the day, it was a racist ass little town, straight up. I'm just being real with you. That's what it was. I'm saying in the 80s, it was like segregation. In the 80s. Everything. Jamie Foxx, maybe 3 years ago, him and Gilbert Willie, they renovated the basketball courts in the back of the black park. Bro, I grew up, that was what it was. Breezy Hill Park is the black park. But what was crazy is that the city of Turl, I don't know, one time something happened or whatever, and they turned the lights off. So they used to have the softball league where they played softball. And softball field, man, was great. And then the city turned the lights off. So you could go hang at the park, but by the time it hit dark, it was there was no lights. Bro, when I'm telling you that was the 80s, I'm saying probably about maybe 5-10 years ago, I'm on Facebook seeing they still trying to get lights at the park, bro.
Damn.
So, but Turl is what I'm made of, you know what I'm saying? Playing football. My dream was to play in that stadium. I achieved that. That was the goal. By the time my sophomore year, I was I'm ready to play. out there with the lights. You know what I'm saying? So just having the musical influences from my sisters, taking me to concerts. My first concert, the SOS Band, the Gap Band, and the Isley Brothers. This is my first concert. I was like 10 years old. But my sister Charlize and Trisha, they took me everywhere with them. The only concert I never got to go to, my mother wouldn't let me go, was Rick James. She would never let me, nope, she didn't even want me to listen to the music and none of that.
Why?
Because he was so edgy and he was so raw, and all he talked about was fucking and smoking weed, bro. So I was like 11, like, nah, that's not it. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't let me go to the Rick James concert. I wanted to go. But she did let me go to Prince. By that time I was like a teenager, but you know, my sisters, I would go with them, you know what I'm saying? Anytime a concert came to Dallas, bro, we was there. So I don't know, it just affected me in a way of, it's crazy. I don't really tell the story, but I used to we used to go to so many concerts, I used to pretend that I was the artist. I'm a little kid. I used to pretend like I was an artist because we would leave before the show was over. Like the band would still be playing. Prince would be off the stage. So she'd be like, come on, let's go and beat the traffic. So we would get in the car, but in my head, in the back seat, I was like playing like I was the artist. Like I'm leaving the arena with boom, boom. Like this is what it would feel like. Bro, I promise you, I felt that as an adult. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I was a kid, and then it's just the power of imagination. But in my head, I was really like, I'm being wished out of the crowd. It's crazy. So, I always knew that I was supposed to do music once I got aligned with Skolo and him being a grown ass DJ and then telling me, hey, if you want to do this, you got to come over every day and practice. Every day you got to come over and practice. You find Skolo D, you ask him about this story. And I committed to it. And I would come over there every day and practice, but I was defying my mother at the same time. Because I was supposed to come home and be there with my younger brother, Chris. And I would be there with him. I would get him set up, put the cereal, put the cartoons. And he always tell me, I'm going to tell mama, but he wouldn't, because he wouldn't, but he would always tell me, I said, Chris, I'm going to be back. I'm going to go to the Skolo house. I'll be right back. And so I would go over there on my bicycle and I would practice Skolo. She was showing me how to blend and everything. And I skirted by for some months. Chris never told it. And then one day, bro, I was just feeling the groove, man, and I lost track of time. And I looked at that clock and it said 5:30, bro. My mama get home at 5 o'clock, bro. Ooh. I ain't never rode a bicycle as fast as I rode that bike. I was hoping something. One day she was late. I pulled up down that dirt road and I seen that little Subaru in the driveway. I knew I was done. It was a wrap. She beat me on sight, bro. Not even no explanation, nothing. So Chris, she done came to the house. Chris there. He done told her, yeah, he go over. He been going, saying he going somewhere. I don't know. Man, she beat the brakes off me, bro. Didn't even let me explain. So, but the next day I had to be at Skolo crib. So the next day, bro, I was at Skolo crib.